Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting rendition of the Alpha Pro Series. Today, we have a matchup from the old world to the new. That's right, it's ExpecT versus Starkiller. Two very legendary teams as well. Alpha X really starting to make a name for themselves in the scene, putting their players through all the hoops to make them the best in the world. And Team Chivo, they've got quite the lineup themselves. ExpecT one of those guys who keeps qualifying again and again and again through Valencia, through Montreal, through a bunch of other ones that I can't list because the Liquipedia page just decided to bork out there. But yeah, it's going to be a TVZ, and we are almost ready to get things started out. We are just right now in the lobby, waiting for all the players. And we're going to start things off pretty strong here with one of the new maps, Disco Bloodbath. Just a little bit of friendly banter in the chat. I expect I actually had to take a little bit of a break here, but ExpecT is one of those Terran players that you just really... Oops. Hang on. Okay, just had to take care of that, but I hope everyone is having a fantastic night or a morning or evening or afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. Like I said, these two come from complete different sides of the globe. But just making sure everything is good to go. Be hopping into the lobby. Actually, I don't know if ExpecT actually read it up here. We might actually be might actually have to do a redo here, depending. But a bit longer wait time, obviously, when you have players so far apart. It's going to take a couple of seconds to load in, especially this time of night / day. Nice and slow. There we go. ExpecT first one to load in. Starkiller going behind him. This is not a good start. The race is already won on one side. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, in this best of 9. ExpecT game number 1. All right, a bit of a false start here. Okay, so we figured out what's going on here. It was the wrong server. Today we're going to be playing on US West, hoping to get the best match for both of the guys. There we go. All right, looks like the rest of us are in. But yeah, both players are ready now, and we're going to be hopping right back into it. Like I was saying, it is the new map, Disco Bloodbath, which is one of the more fun maps in the pool. It just has so many different little baubles around that just makes it so colorful and so fun to play. You got to be really careful with those lights because those enemies can get right on top of you without you even noticing if you're a bit too distracted with the disco, which I mean, if you're like me, you love the disco, and you will be staring at those lights more than the Ling is going to be running through your natural and tearing everything up. So, without further ado, spawning in the middle left slash top, it is Starkiller. And here is the star. He is looking to kill. It is all the way from Taiwan. ExpecT. I hope he knows we expect some really good games out of him today and tomorrow and every day after that. One of Starkiller's patented moves, he did get that extractor trick to get just a little bit of extra mining money here. And it looks like he will be going for a pretty standard hatch first here to start things off. While ExpecT just going to be going for another very standard opening. And you know what they say about standard openings? They are the best kind of openings because they are very predictable and you won't be worried too much about what your opponent is doing. So both these guys actually just oh, oh. I was trying to do the thing where I like just Ewoks. Never understand why all these maps have Ewoks on them. But I expect actually going to be going for a bit of a later scout here. He's going to be just going to see what Starkiller is up to on his side of the map, trying to make sure that there wasn't some sort of pool first, some sort of bailing aggression, roach rush. And that's a kind of nice angle here, but the Reaper will be coming out pretty soon, so it might just be a little bit late on the scouting SCV. But yeah, overall, pretty easy opening for both sides here. Neither side really going to be showing off their chops as this is a very long series, potentially in a best of 9. This SCV went straight for the third base, sees that that has not been thrown down yet. Can't really get it confirmed because it is still just a couple of seconds early in order to know if he is going to be going for that third. Starkiller, though, he's one of those players you can never know what to expect. He just has this wide range of moves, aggression. He can play macro extensively well. And overall, I think everyone's going to be looking forward to this series. Now, ExpecT. I must admit, he is a Taiwanese player that I don't know too much about. I did look him up, and I did see that he did very well in his qualifiers for WCS in his region, only being taken down by Haas, and in the most recent qualifier by a player called Lemon. But right now he is going to get a pretty nice scout of everything going on as we have that starport coming out, and he might be swapping that over to this tech lab, so still a little bit of potential here. There's some cheeky stuff, and yeah, there we go. We do see a Liberator on the way. I guess this is a pretty decent position here for said Liberator. So might be looking to get a little bit of action here, but keep in mind, guys, as well, there still is no third base. That Spire is already down, and he is mining heavily into gas. Doesn't really take a genius to know what's going on here, but all ExpecT needs to do is get into that base and figure out what is coming his way, because Needless very good if they blindside you. Like right now, there is not much out here for the Terran player. He's started up Stim, which is a little bit faster this season, but he just doesn't have the production he needs to deal with Mutalisks, and he won't for another minute or so. Even going straight for the Hellion. Good target fire from Starkiller. I don't believe he saw the Liberator, though, so this still has a little bit of... Okay. Never mind, Starkiller did see it. He's got those queens in position, so that Liberator is a lot of dead weight. And if you take a look at the gas count, Starkiller does have enough for 8 mutas off the back. These Lings gonna kind of just put a little bit of harassment down, kind of just make expect something from the front while he is gearing up. One missile turret is on the way. Did he? Okay, he actually did not see the Spire, so that is just a blind missile turret there. Feeling something's up, he did see that that still was no third base until very, very recently. So overall, just playing it nice and safe. Here we go. Missile turret. Not going to be able to defend that third CC. Marines gonna have to section this out for the time being. But already Starkiller is going for his next stage of tech, going straight into roaches. Right now, once again, there's not really that much to deal with the change in tech. It's pretty much just pure marine production. He's got Widow Mines on the way as well. Combat Shield's going to be finishing up here in a little bit. But yeah, honestly, there's not that much here which deals with the roaches, especially not ones that are going to have +1/+1, although ExpecT is a little bit quicker here. Starkiller going to be taking a lot of damage. 11 workers going down. The Liberator tries to come in, but it is going to get taken out before it can get anything. Third base actually has a lot of potential to go down here. These Mutalisks not going to be able to save it, and that is actually a huge pickoff for ExpecT right now. Put him squarely in the lead with 3 bases. Sorry about that, but these Mutalisks are going to hunt down those medevacs. At this stage in the game, the big pickoffs are those gas-intensive units for the Terran player. Getting those medevacs means a little bit later on you're not going to be able to get better units from your starport. You're going to have to keep remaking medevacs, and you're going to have to keep spending that gas where you do not want to. And really, Starkiller's being a bit passive now. Now that he's lost that third base, he's just using the Mutalisks to keep his opponent back, keep him on his side of the map. It's going to take a little bit of time for Starkiller really to power up into that powerful push that he will be able to do here. And behind all of that, he just needs a lot of time to re-establish this third base. Falling behind a little as well with his upgrades. The thing about it is Marines, they scale very well versus a roach-based composition. I kind of would like to see some banelings added into all of this. Although there are Widow Mines, I feel like just a couple split-offs, some surrounds with banelings would do him a lot more wonders than just a straight roach push, which it does look like he is going for here right now. Sorry about that, guys. My microphone's having a little bit of issues. But needs to fight outside of Widow Mine range. Has a good concave right now. Gonna fight right back into it, trying to bait it back into the Marines, but it's not going to work. Although this will be enough to get ExpecT to go on out of there. And the Mutalisks, their numbers have been thinned very heavily here. It's currently down to only 3. And he actually, not paying attention, might lose a couple of Overlords if he's not careful. That will heavily supply block him. Big mistakes here out of Starkiller right now. But the one good thing is that he is keeping his opponent back and buying himself a lot of room. Unfortunately, this is not really a position you can hold, as those siege tanks will be coming out pretty soon. I love it. He's going to try and hit that window before the siege tanks become a problem. Unfortunately, though, the Widow Mines getting some huge shots off. There already is one tank out, ready to push all of this back. I mean, this is just so hard for him to want to get back into this position. There's just way too much splash damage. Even then, he's not really blocking like a fourth or anything, because ExpecT's going up for that better economy, and he will get that planetary fortress up. And it's just so easy for him to move between these two locations. Look at that. ExpecT just feels powerful enough to just push on through to it. He will back off for a second, but I think he has more than enough here to clean up at least a huge chunk of this army, although the bio is starting to leak out a little bit. But there is just way too much on the reinforcements here, and with those siege tanks having high ground vision, starkiller will have to back up after kind of resetting the army counts. Getting that fourth base was pretty nice pick off as well. So starkiller will just back off on rest on his laurels. Although I do think at this point you might want to start looking towards the next stage of tech. It's going to be difficult for him because he is just not mining super efficiently at all. ExpecT even has more workers, which, I mean, if you guys know, that is something you never want to happen as the Zerg player. You always want to be sitting around 80 or so workers on 4 bases worth of saturation, uphill both ways in the snow. And I don't even know where I'm going with that, but I'll roll with it. Might actually catch him on the unsiege here. This would be fantastic. This is kind of the move that starkiller needs to do. He needs to just keep ExpecT from moving out with this very big, strong army. Just buy himself time, and look at that. ExpecT doesn't even really care. He's just going to keep going for it anyway. Kind of the worst case scenario here for starkiller, as he will need a lot more time to deal with this, especially since this is going to hit just as 3-3 is finishing. Might want to try and get those tanks, please. Okay, not going to get them. But yeah, one medevac. Not going to really do too much here. The roaches back at home going to try and defend. But it's all going to come down to the reinforcements of ExpecT to defend this push. Right now the tanks are doing everything they can for it. The bio not being micro to its full potential. It's still going to take out a lot of these Ravagers. Just really weaken this force as it moves into that tank fire. And I think ExpecT has pretty much a winning position here almost. As look at that, the Ravagers just gone, finished, kaput. They checked out. It's going to come down to all of this. The drones are pulled. And he's just not getting on top of those tanks like he should. Reinforcements in the back, though, going to start to help out the drones. Actually being the heroes here, but you're just losing way too many here for what you're gaining. That was pretty much a Pyrrhic victory here for starkiller. And actually, he didn't even win that one. It's just drones doing what they can. These 4 Ravagers finally going to clean this up. But the damage is done. 26 workers. The reinforcement's just going to head across the map. He fears nothing. The starkiller is going to tap on out. Just quick, clean, and methodical play there from ExpecT. starkiller had a little trouble. We saw the transition, but unfortunately it just didn't seem like either it was fast enough or he didn't really transition past that roach-based style. He does love his roaches, but just didn't really help him too much in that situation. I'm just gonna figure out what's next. All right, it's gonna be Acropolis. Invite all these lovely people to the game. Let's get Starkiller up in here. Oh, I want to know, what do you guys think of that first game? You think it's going to be a bigger part of this series, or do you think it was just a one and done for our Taiwanese pro? I'm just going to get the ready from both sides, and here we go once again. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. On a bit of a stranger map. We'll have to see what Starkiller has in mind because this is his pick. So basically, the way this series will go is that it was my pick first. I picked Disco Bloodbath just because I love the pretty colors. And now these guys, after they lose, they get to pick the map because of strategy. And speaking of strategy, his strategy is to take it to the win, spawning up here in the top. It is ExpecT. His opponent in the bottom position. He's looking to coming back. Starkiller. Looks like right now the stars are shining a bit brighter than he could handle in that last game, and he is going to have to work to get that victory. Once again, expecting to be going for standard. Starkiller going to be going for standard. It's just a standard opening from both sides. Now, the big thing about Acropolis is the place you're supposed to fight is this huge arena in the center. You can see it's kind of purposely built so that your units will walk across it. And this is kind of what the map maker expected. However, there are plenty of little places to go around and get some nice counter damage for opponents moving across the map. So we'll have to see how well they can utilize those little points. And once again, this kind of seems like ExpecT's thing. He does send that SCV a little bit later than a regular scout, and I can guess that his big priority is just kind of seeing if any units are coming out, because this would be roughly the time that roaches would start to be at least halfway on their way to your base, I think. So it's always just good to kind of get that little bit of confirmation, sees that the third base is not down just yet. We have seen that Starkiller did take a later third in that previous series, and he kind of coupled it with a little bit of aggression. Right now, actually being very cautious as ExpecT. He's just going to keep his Reaper at home and focus solely on that SCV. And this is going to prompt Starkiller to really just kind of move across the map, see what he can get done with these 4 Lings. I mean, if these guys can be the heroes of the game, or they could just be another couple of deadlings on a Terran command center, you know, they're gonna have to pick a private out to scrape their remains off. But that is neither here nor there. They're gonna try and get in. Speed is not done just yet, and look at this. ExpecT just being very cautious in this game, going for the Marine, but he does do a very nice juke. So these guys are just going to kind of be a nuisance here, as we have a Cyclone coming out. Just very interesting playstyle right now from ExpecT. Even going to be coming into the main base, get a nice scout off that once again, it is that 2 base play out of Starkiller, but this time the gases are a little bit later, so we'll have to see what he's going to do with that. It looks like it's going to be Mutas once again, but we can't tell just yet. He might be throwing down some Nidus play. Safety Viking and a Siege Tank to start things off, so this might actually do more damage than the previous game. There is only one Cyclone out, but this is the big thing right now. A full scout off on that Spire will trigger a change in tech here, I believe. That Reaper actually just going to get out of here alive. Oh, so close, and yet so far. Once again, we see a bit of a quicker stim timing. Remember, stim no longer takes 120 seconds. It now only takes 100. That small change opens up the possibility for such powerful pushes here from the Terran player. Especially since he does have a siege tank as well. So after kind of fending off the Mutalisks and kind of just pushing those away, he will have the opportunity to move out. Hang on. I was trying to make it a little bit cleaner on the bottom. Almost gave Starkiller a win. Let's hope that's not the only way he's going to get a number right here, because we want a fun and exciting series. But yeah, we'll also have to see how heavily he commits to this Mutalisk play. If he just wants to go back into Roaches, which it kind of looks like he's going for right now. That seems like it will be his forte. Although there will be enough at home to defend, and instead we are going to see that Baneling nest going down, and I actually like that choice a lot better than going into Roaches. There's a lot of utility in these Mulisks at this stage in the game. You can pick off reinforcements. You can try and find little areas where the missile turrets don't cover. Right now, it does not seem like there are a lot of those. But they're still going to try and go for it. Get a little poke off on those SCVs. The ExpecT is going to be moving out here with that stim timing, which is pretty standard here, the 2 medevacs. And actually, we are just going to see full Lingbane Muta, which means we will be in the mid game for quite a bit of time from Starkiller's perspective. The thing about this is a very gas intensive build. It's very heavy on the Mutalisks. You need so many of them in order to kind of fight effectively that it just becomes very difficult to move on to that next stage of Hive Tech later on, because you're just spending all of your gas trying to get up that Mutalisk count. Really nice little pickoffs here. Once again, just forcing the stims. But in his main base, he's got to deal with these Marines are in such a good position. The Banelings, nowhere to be found just yet. They were not created. So those Mutas are actually going to have to come home and defend this. But once again, like, they're just not good versus this right now. Especially now that Combat Shield has finished, he's going to have to replenish this Mutalisk count. And for his troubles, he did get 7 workers, does ExpecT. So this was more than worth it from his own viewpoint, I believe. Although he could have gotten the spawning pool and just been a total nuisance. Once again, we do see Starkiller a little bit late on his upgrades. So overall, like his army is just that much weaker versus this. And look at that. Once again, he found success in the last drop, and he's going to be looking to do it again. Just trying to expose a weakness in Starkiller's defense. And I'm gonna be punning on this guy's name all night. He's going to expect that weakness once again. So now that he's kind of identified that this is Lingbane Muta, what kind of supporting units is he going for? He has the second factory. He's just going to be pumping out Widow Mines right now. No Thors as far as I can see. Just going to be focusing on that splash damage. And once again, he's just going to get into the main base totally unannounced, totally uninvited, and just do whatever he can. On the other side of the map, the Mutalisks have the numbers that they need. Going to start picking off workers by the dozen, or by the dozen minus one. And just going to do whatever they can. Fourth base, going to go under fire as those Lings just going to be struggling. I think that was an F2 actually. He's going to get the base. And yeah, that actually was an F2 here from Starkiller. And he's going to get the spawning pool, does ExpecT. Wow, this is just going so well for him. He's even going to be able to put himself into a great position on that fourth base as he stems forward there. These medevacs are going to be pretty much dead. They're going to drop their load. While a couple do die valiantly. That third base is going to be under complete fire here as those Widow Mines starting to get set up. He needs to send a couple of Lings. Actually, that splash damage doing more than enough damage to his own units. But a few good hits going down. Gonna clean this up as ExpecT. Gonna go towards the main base once again. The attack, it faltered a little bit, but overall, it did kind of slow Starkiller down. He doesn't really have the numbers to kind of push back against all of this. Although he is going to try the Banelings morphing right on the front lines. He wants to get this done as soon as possible. Has to be careful for those Thor shots and the fact that these Widow Mines have speed burrow now. Still no Hive on the way either here from our Zerg player. He's going to try and move his way in here. A few Banelings going in, trying to trigger those Widow Mines. Not going to get him just now. And once again, we kind of just see Starkiller doesn't have enough to push the issue right now. Has very little gas to replenish Mutalisk count as well. But this is a very nice sizable number. Just has to be very careful for those Thor shots. Be picking off the reinforcements as he can. The Thor, another huge shot going off. He's clumped up to all heck with these guys. One bad shot, one bad mistake, and he's going to lose all of them. He needs to get out of there. Like yesterday almost, as that is a lot of red health Mutalisks. Just setting up as well on the other side. Just like Starkiller is doing what he did in the last game as well. He's trying to keep his opponent contained on the current economy, but this time ExpecT just has more than enough to try and steamroll through all of this. Widowmine's about to get some huge connections through all of this, and the splits are good enough to clean up the Mutalisk count. Oh, that was about as bad as it could get for Starkiller right there. Now he has almost nothing back at home. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. Yeah, currently losing so much. Widowmine's set up in a fantastic position as well. Starkiller, he needs time. This isn't a lot of support for those Widowmines, but overall, this is still a heavily upgraded army. Good focus fire on those Widowmines, making sure that they do not go off. He's just trying desperately to do so, but he loses so many units when he's trying. He's just going to go for it right here. ExpecT going back so well. He is going to lose a lot of these Marines, but the Thors just so powerful, able to keep the push going. There's just not much left here. Another huge swell of Lings is on the way, but once again, time is of the essence. It's currently down a whole upgrade versus this army. For ExpecT, he will have to retreat, and he will start to get picked off here a little bit, but there's just nothing with these units of Starkiller here. Luckily for him, he does have that hive up and ready to go. But once again, he just doesn't have game sounds are missing. All right, I'll put it on Starkiller's perspective. I will fix that. Let's try that. There we go. All right, that should have done it. Who told me that? Snoopy, go ahead and let me know if that fixed it. Yeah, this big push once again just coming across, and not much of a response here for Starkiller. He's going to go in for it and actually get some huge connections through all of this. But overall, those Widowmines just doing so much work in the Thors, being left to die. He's actually just going to try and keep the attack going with this Thor. Maybe pick off a queen or two, get some workers at the 4th base, and at the same time just be super annoying here at the 5th while the rest of his army comes across. Queen doing what she can, but Starkiller just unfortunately getting picked apart here little by little. ExpecT just really showing why he is a top caliber player and why he qualifies so much for the offline events. Yeah, 15 more workers going down. Not that much army. Currently 100 to 30. Yeah, I mean you don't even need game sounds to know that this is an absolute slaughter. And ExpecT is now going to go up.
Missile ready.
2 games to nothing. And you know what? This is a good time to shout out our sponsor. If you guys love working out, if you love getting fit in the mind and the body, you need to check out our sponsor, 24 Hour Fitness. They'll help you. If you go to any of the 400 plus locations in the United States, you'll get personalized assistance. They'll help you make a plan for your overall health. And overall, it's just so good. You feel better, you type faster, you play faster. That is just how it goes. So check them out on our Matcherino page. And also, if you're in the chat, you can see, I never figured this thing out, but if you look over there, you can see a code. If you fill in that code on the Matcherino page, you will get access to this and so much more. Sorry, I lost my train of thought trying to look at the map here. But yeah, so check them out. One sec, guys. It looks like Starkiller is making the map. So next map is going to be Thunderbird, another large map, and you kind of see we're getting rid of the large maps very early on. And the big thing about that is we're only going to have small maps as this series progresses. That's actually going to be pretty interesting to see. But here we go. Starkiller is going to be looking to bring it back. He needs to get that momentum in his stride. So if you're for Alpha X today, bring your Kappas or the Afrika TV's equivalent of the Kappa, and bring your love for him because he is going to have to work so hard for this victory. And you know what? We'll have to work so hard to watch him play because spawning up here in the top position, it's the man himself, Alpha X's Starkiller. His opponent showing two dominant performances, really showing his stride in the series. It is Team Chivo's ExpecT. So the big thing we've noticed about these larger maps is we haven't really seen anyone kind of try and catch their opponent off guard with them. You know, kind of those, it's way too big, but I'm still going to cheese kind of maps. But, I mean, these guys do have pretty solid macro mechanics here. Starkiller, one thing you will note about him is he doesn't really use hotkeys that often. You know, he F2s his army a lot, and that's kind of been hurting him in this series, just being unable to take care of the multi-prong aggression of his opponent. Now, to his credit, he does have a lot going for him on this map. Very easy to take third base, and he's actually just going to take that. Looks to be very quickly here. And he's going to try and macro his little Zerg hard out as quickly as he can. Which I really do like, because it's not one of those aggressive 3 hatch before pools. It is a safer kind of just pool after hatch into third hatch. Love these skins as well. I think these are the new skins you can get in the war chest. They just make this guy look so menacing, even more so than the simulant Zerg units from the last war chest. Although he might be as menacing as he wants, but there just really isn't that many places to hide this time. Thing's actually going to go for a surround here. It's a lot of damage done to him, but will not finish him off. Sees the third base is coming down, so he might be breathing a little bit of a sigh of relief this time, knowing that it isn't going to be some crazy two hatch build once again. Just going to be jumping around here, using those jump boots. You gotta think though, like there are a lot of Reapers in service these days. So you just gotta think, how much are they spending on rocket fuel just for one of these jump happy boys? Like it's gotta be a lot, right? Especially with gas prices these days, you just gotta think, what are the gas prices in space where gas doesn't even really exist? Try to get that creep tumor. That's going to dock his pay. That's going to make it harder to get that fuel. Because he did not complete his mission there. But we do see this is going to be a Hellion opening. Going to go for the Liberator as well. Try and get some early damage done. And it does look like starkiller is going to be a bit expecting. And instead he is just going to try and wall this off a bit. Once again, though, we do see that it is going to be roaches out of starkiller. I think really if he is going to do this, he needs to kind of give himself a little bit of a better angle. So just kind of picking up the minerals in the middle of the map, give him a much faster attack route. All of this, but there's still a little bit of time to see how heavily he's going to commit into this. And one thing, once again, remember, he has been a lot slower in the upgrades, which I feel like is going to hurt him quite heavily in this regard, because roaches just do not scale as well. They just don't scale as well versus the bio without upgrades. Liberator going to come in the back as the Hellions try and pick up the front. The Queen can, but not piercing the hull of freedom right now. And Liberator is just going to get on out of there. But now he's kind of in a game of ping pong. Going to try and go past, but no score. Went down so quick, they never found it. The Evo chamber's going up. Lair finally going to be coming down at the 530 mark. I'm going to be trying to go for the fourth base as well. Going to sneak right by these Hellions. But the Reaper going to come in once again. Just wants to get a good scout off of what's going on. His upgrades, once again, much quicker here. Can I increase the game sound a little bit? I can make myself sound less terrifying. Alright, alright. I swear, this computer changes every single time what the optimal thing is. That should be good. But this drop going to be coming in here. Not going to really get too much. Sees though that this is still Heavy Ravager. No Banelings, but he is going to be going up to Fast Hive behind all of this, which I really do like. He's not really committed to the Roach play like the first game, and instead is just kind of using it as a defensive measure for the time being, and this time he's actually got a really nice spread on his forces as well. This will not be going down. So close, and yet so far. I like how the Hellions are still on the map, however, you know? There's still kind of just this little nuisance you have to keep in the back of your mind. Until right now when he's not paying attention and they're actually just going to get picked off. I feel like this is the Caster Curse, but I'm not good enough for the Caster Curse yet. Jesters as well. Overall, I really like how starkiller is adapting in this game. Overall, it just feels a lot crisper, a lot cleaner than the previous couple of games, and it just kind of feels like he's adapting very heavily towards all of this. Look at that, even the upgrades are going to be even. Once again, we see that timing here from ExpecT. He's going to look to hit very soon here. But we do have plenty of fungal energy, looks like. And he's just going to get right on top of all of this. The fungal is going to be going down a little bit later in the fight. And with the tank so clumped up, this is cleaned up way easier than in the previous couple of games. So much so, he barely loses anything. I think even the drones he lost was kind of just a misclick. ExpecT, to his credit, is not going to let something small like losing his entire army phase him. He is just going to keep going for these aggressive drops. I gotta say, one thing I've noticed, just kind of a bit of a tangent, these are Borderland Marines. Like, no joke. They seriously look like someone ripped them right out of Borderlands with this art style. Sorry, not sorry. These Ultras, they don't have the armor just yet, so Starkiller attacking before that's even ready. A bit of an anti-timing for that. Actually just now completes, fighting into a choke point, and no fungals going off just yet. Focus fire on the tanks is going to try and get at least one of the infestors, which will go down. That was a higher energy one as well. That's actually going to be it. Starkiller has fought his way back into this series. Now we see the little chink in the armor for ExpecT, what he can't handle. We'll have to see if Starkiller can keep that kind of momentum going. And you know what else brings the momentum? GameStop. They've been keeping that momentum going for years. They've been bringing the power to the players, power to gamers all over the world, and now they kind of want to bring the power to the esports world with their new initiatives that you can check out on the Matcherino page. You can see all of their great little endeavors, including coaching from some of the world's top esports coaches, top esports professionals, top esports everything. And yeah, go ahead and check them out on the Matcherino page. You add a little bit of money to the prize pool if you check out their website from the Matcherino page. And yeah, help support this series by showing those sponsors some love. I know they'll appreciate it, and we appreciate it too. This is currently Alpha Pro Series number 108. So the amount of support you guys have given, the amount of support you guys have shown has just been incredible through this entire journey that Alpha Series has been going for, and it's just amazing. I'm sure Sushi appreciates it. I'm sure everybody at Alpha Pro Series extremely appreciates it, so thank you guys once again. And yeah, thank you guys so much for right now. I'm gonna add something. And we're gonna hop into our math number of games, our fourth game of the night. And this should be a good one. It's another new map. We've gone through the old ones. It's time for the new. A lot of high and low ground bases here on Triton. So a lot of high ground, a lot of low ground, and there is a Zelnaga watchtower right there, smack dab in the center that you can see a lot. But you better bring a jacket for all of this, because I don't know about you, but going to Triton, where the average temperature is super low, like, and I'm talking Celsius low, not that Fahrenheit low. Better bring a jacket. You know, we're gonna have to see if these guys did just that, because they are gonna be spawning into Triton LE. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom position, getting caught off guard with the late game. Last game, it's ExpecT. His opponent in the top, he is Starkiller. Unfortunate for him, Triton is a moon. So he won't be destroying this planet, but he sure will try with his creep. Anything a Zerg touches will get destroyed. So I gotta say, these guys truly do give a lot of respect to each other. Starkiller, I've kind of seen him be this super aggressive, super heavy-handed player to deal with, and it looks like just in these past couple of games he's really given ExpecT the space and attention that ExpecT really does deserve at his level. So he is going to have to crawl his way back. Like I said, this is going to be a long one. You can just feel it in your bones that this is going to be quite... ExpecT, I was just hyping you up, dude. Oh my gosh. Bit of a small mistake there. Tried to send a lot of his workers to the gas, it looked like. That is going to slow him down a little bit in terms of that income. But here we go. Once again, that Reaper going to be his best tool in this early game. We've seen it just do so much scouting work and just been so good to him getting that information in this series. We will have to see. That Starkiller so far has not thrown down a third base just yet. It does look like he is sending the drones down to the natural for right now. Not going to lose any just yet. He's way too good to just lose them willy-nilly. Good little zoning plays as well. Again, still no third base. Not even close to one just yet. Will this be a two base once again? It's kind of looking that way already, as we do see that lair going down very quickly here. That 3-minute lair timing is just so good. This Reaper really does want to get a scout off on that. Right now, he's a little bit suspicious. He needs to confirm it by going to all of the different locations. And he needs to kind of understand what's going on. So far, it does look like already he's got a pretty good idea. As he will get that Widow Mine very early on for the defense. Actually, it looks like he's going for a bit of a mine drop as well. But the Reaper going to come in once again, sees that this is most likely going to be Mutas once again. Starkiller's bread and butter in this series has been those Mutalisks. And there you have it, the Spire going down once again. Now, the big thing is Starkiller has absolutely nothing of value at home right now to defend against this drop. He's got 4 Lings and 3 Queens. That is nowhere near enough to where you want to be at this point to defend against this. No transfused energy as well. He's been spreading that creep pretty diligently with it. The Overlord going to give him a bit of an early warning here. Immediately 12 Lings are going to start up. That Widow Mine can just literally walk right into this. Even going to get a couple of workers here. As he focus fires them down. Even going to get out of there with pretty much everything. Only losing a couple of the Marines. As this Liberator going to be moving in for the next kill. Look at that. He's just waiting for that Widow Mine or Liberator to get across. He sees that the third is very late. But the bit unfortunate thing for the Liberator is he's not going to have that much time here, as his Minos will be popping pretty soon. There we go, they do pop off. Medevac trying to get something done in the main base, but that is going to be pushed back as well. And only 3 workers lost. Not the biggest of deals, although I would like to see Starkiller just get a lot more drones like soon. He's just really sitting super low on that worker count, and I don't know, I just don't really like that, seeing that from a Zerg. I think it's going to reign supreme here, fighting in a pretty good position, but they will get picked off as these Marines force the mining to end at Starkiller's position, or main base rather. This is just insane right now, what ExpecT can do with such few units. And once again, we do see Starkiller going for that Roach transition. Problem is, once again, he's neglected his upgrades, which is kind of the most important thing with all of this. Unless you can just pump out an absolute ton of units very quickly and then move across, you're not going to get too much done with the amount he's trickling out the roaches. But these mutas actually finding a lovely position here, going to get so many of these workers, the Marines, trying to get around to fight this, but they're just in the wrong position at the wrong time. It's ring around the rosy, and there is no pocket full of posy here for ExpecT, as he lost 22 workers. That is the kind of damage that Starkiller needed with this, and that is the kind of damage that will put him back into this super heavily economically. Siege in the main base, gonna do what it can, only getting 3 workers so far. But this will get cleaned up here pretty soon. The Milis is gonna get 1 medevac, second medevac will go down, and the Roaches will make sure that those Marines wish they were never dropped. Does look like he was gearing up for an attack as well. That will not happen. Finding some invisible enemy over here. And actually, this is still a bit scary here for ExpecT, I imagine. It is currently double the army supply, and that is a lot of roaches that can, if necessary, force their way through this force. Just really needs to stay away from the siege tanks as much as possible. And actually, I really like this. Just gonna go straight for the natural base, way out of tank fire range. It's just gonna get right on top of everything before a shot is even fired from ExpecT. He is a bit trapped now, but that really doesn't matter. He is right where he wants to be. The siege tanks gonna get picked off very quickly here in this fight, and not much else is gonna happen as ExpecT taps out with the series tied 2-2. Look at these guys, they are duking it out, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. It's gonna be ExpecT's map nowadays, and we will have to see what he decides. Currently 4 games in, 5 to go, potentially. And he is going to pick Winter's Gate. A lot of winter-themed maps this time of year. Can't say I dislike it. Just taking a look at this. this is gonna be a fun one. Looks like there's 2 different spawning locations that you can get. Oh, there's inhibitor zones. Oh no. Inhibitor zones are the weirdest thing. Like, I hate them, I love them sometimes, but overall, I don't know. They're just kind of there more than anything. Let's see what's going on. Not much. It's currently 1:30 in the morning, which is the best time for StarCraft. I don't know about you guys, but I think you play best when it's 1:30 in the morning. Exactly 1:30. Like, the second, like, you will be macroing like a god for 60 seconds. That's it. After that, you go back to being whatever level you. But for these guys, that level is professionals, and that's right, spawning down here in the bottom right position. It's starkiller doing his patented extractor trick, and his opponent up here, it's ExpecT, as in you can expect a great game out of these guys. They've really shown how far they've come in their StarCraft journey. Both actually started getting their way into the scene in 2016, from what I can find. So very similar in time frames of starting to get results. And overall, it's really showing that they have evolved at the same kind of level. Really though, these guys just like really different styles than what you would expect. You know, they're not the cookie cutter ZVT. It's been very aggressive, um, just very macro intensive as well in some instances, and it just really shows the kind of depth these players have. And just like when I say that Starkiller is going to be coming out with a new one, a Hidden Roach Warren, much quicker than the previous couple of games. And now it's going to be so important for him to force that SCV away. I think the Reaper is going to be staying at home during all of this. So he's not going to be too bad of a position in order to kind of just delay this a little bit. Because that's his big thing right now. Just kind of delay for his factory get up to get a Cyclone, a Siege Tank, just anything to do splash damage, or even just pick off one roach at a time. Another big important thing here is this Overlord needs to stay alive for that high ground vision. Ravagers are going to be morphed very conservatively on the other side of the map and just walk across. He's hiding this so well. The SCV's going to be coming down, and he might actually be thinking that this is a Mutalisk once again, because that has been Starkiller's go-to two-base play. Although he already knows something is up. A bunker going down at home. And I think he actually may have caught a whiff of the Ravagers coming across. I think I heard a Ravager fire there. So he will know that this is coming. But the question is, can he defend it? In-game music is on, Canuck. And here we go. It's going to get a really good start here. Just a very quick supply depot pick off. Going to go for that second one as well. Luckily for ExpecT, he does have that already done. Ooh, a little bit of miss. Almost a miss macro on that Cyclone there, almost losing it. But now he is only making one Marine at a time, but he will be getting that Viking as well. Actually, that did supply block ExpecT for a little bit here. Behind all of this, we do see him going up to lair. Gonna get that, so it's kind of a reverse of what he has been doing the past couple of games. Instead of going for Mutalisks into roaches, he's instead going roaches into Mutalisks. We'll have to see if he throws that down, actually. That is a very expensive structure to take. There we go. Trying to get it while it's in the inhibitor zone. Not going to do it. That the guy is going to be free to roam around the map as he sees fit. And we are going to see the Cyclone's going to come across as well, see what damage they can get done. I'm just going to go for it. He does get the supply block here. As these Ravagers, not going to be able to escape this, although the Cyclones will go down for it, maybe. In a nice position, but they just sustained way too much damage there. So GG for those Cyclones. Their game is done. He's firing at something here. That must have been that Liberator that is hanging out, getting 3 workers already. A 4th did follow. He will have to get on out of there with that. He did scout that this was Spire Tech once again. And yeah, it does look like it is going to be Ling Bei Muta for the stage in the game. Because that Muta count is just steadily risen. ExpecT is going to send out a small little task force to deal with it. Leaves this tank very open here. Trying to get what he can, but getting a lot of these reinforcements is very nice. That tank, not long for this world. It's going to come in here, try and do some damage, and actually getting some really good focus fire on those Lings. Not focus fire, excuse me, but just a great position against it all. Mutalisks need to come home and defend, but this will get cleaned up before they get there. As that 3rd base goes on down. So the fact that he picked off the tank was nice. The fact that he picked off the reinforcements was nice, because it will slow down any kind of push that ExpecT will be looking to go for. And as you saw, one of ExpecT's big things is he is really good with his pushes. A good little focus fire there. Going to get a couple of SCVs. As we're going to see ExpecT's second favorite part of it, the drop till you drop kind of phase. Fortunate for Starkiller, all of his units are at the 3rd base location. The Mutalisks still getting a little bit of work done, just kind of picking that off, forcing the stim to come on out. He's going to focus fire the Roach Warren, but I don't think Starkiller was expecting to use that at this point. It's the big swell of Banelings halfway across the map. Don't really know what they were expecting to get done there. Fortunately, a couple F2s. I'm going to make sure that they don't go across and gives that tank plenty of time to siege up here at this location. And this is the key point right here. That inhibitor zone is going to be so difficult. But starkiller is just going to go for it. The Link's starting to get taken out very quickly, and the Banelings trying to get on top of what they can. So far, only 2 workers going down. That number only rising very slightly here. starkiller using a lot of those Banelings. Actually just going to go for the workers as well. But, 17 going down on the other side. Look at this Liberator, just 15 worker kills to its name. And neither side comes out better for or worse for that engagement. starkiller, though, is going to have to be very careful, as ExpecT still has that third base, and he still has the potential to throw down a lot of units very early on. Look at that, even just getting more and more workers here, canceling larva production. Oh, starkiller is just going to be hurting for money so bad, and he hasn't actually been hitting his injects that well either. Unfortunately, I think starkiller might actually be suffering from being tired or just something, because it doesn't look like he's at his best right now. Just with some of these smaller mistakes. War production is on the way as well, so those mutalisks not going to be that much more helpful. There's no upgrades. None at all for starkiller either. He's trying to win this, but his units are just so bad compared to everything. Baneling's going to try and get on top, but the Widowmines clean that up, and that is actually just going to be GG. So far behind. And, yeah, fantastic out of ExpecT. You know, he cleaned up that attack. He took a lot of losses, but was able to recuperate very quickly there. And yeah, just overall, very solid game. Still got a couple of maps left. We have Ephemeron and World of Sleepers, I believe, is the next 2 maps in the pool. Once we finish those 2 up, that's when we are going to, sorry, thinking of Sour Skittles, but we will be looking to repeat maps if necessary. But while we get that figured out, I'd like to give you guys a word from our sponsor, so stick around, be right back. Guys, we are back Just hanging out for a second. We just decided the next map is going to be Ephemeron. Bit of a nice one. I like to call this bridge map because you do have a lot of bridges in the center there, which makes it kind of a choke pointy map, which might actually be better for the Terran player in this situation. But for Starkiller's sake, I hope he can really duke it out and take this to game number 9, because this is just an incredible series so far, and I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. We are getting the ready, go, go, go. Not much else, there's not really too much to say about it. This is very straightforward, very awesome, very jam-packed series. And you know what? We're just going to keep it going right about. Wait for it. Wait for it. You gotta time it so that you come in at just the right time. Okay, not the best timing, but it works. So without further ado, he is 2 games away from taking everything, representing Team Chivo from Taiwan. It is ExpecT. And with the games he's showing us, he expects respect. And the guy down here looking to disrespect him with a 12 pool coming on up. It is Starkiller from Alpha X America. So this is kind of what I was expecting in the later stages of this series. I kind of just fatigue starting to set in. It has been a long night for these guys. ExpecT, it's the middle of the afternoon. Starkiller, it is way past the middle of the night. And overall, you kind of just expect them to kind of mix things up a lot, go way more aggressive, way more tactfully cheesy, and kind of just go from there, try and kill their opponents quick to egg out the victories before too long so that you can just get into the next game and keep going, gone. Here we go from Starkiller. This will get scouted out, however. This is one of the good things about this SCV, but good read from Starkiller. He's just going to go down another bridge, and none the wiser is ExpecT, although he will see that this hatch is a lot later than normal, and he will see that he will probably be getting this CC cancelled. Might not lose the SCV though, which would be pretty nice, but he does indeed lose that. Gonna be going for the cancel, just getting the delays. He knows he's not gonna kill that Reaper, but getting a couple of SCVs is actually really nice for him here. And the best part about this isn't all in. This is a really light pressure. Now he can just go on home. Even just gonna fight that Reaper straight up and try and save as many of these lings as possible, so that he doesn't have to spend more. Very excellent start here for Starkiller, getting 3 workers for not a big investment. Getting that cancel off is the big part, and just, wow, a great start to this game for him. We're gonna come in, get a nice little scout off as well. Sees that no gas has been taken until just now. Alright, hang on, I'll fix that. Uh, uh. Alright, I'll fix it after. But, yeah, now we're gonna see ExpecT. Just kind of go across the map with these Hellions. Making about 5 right now. His standard Liberator play that he's been liking to kind of just pull his opponent out of position. Reaper gonna come in here, instantly gets hit once, but will not get taken out just yet. He sees once again that it's 2 base, and these Hellions just gonna YOLO on in and go straight for the probe damage. So far getting decent probes. Maybe one more shot off. There we go. Even now, the drone's not getting back to work. That is a huge mistake. There's a hole in the wall as well. Liberators. Did that actually... Okay, he actually hasn't sent it in just yet, but 13 more workers. They clumped up. Oh my goodness, it's roasty, toasty drone time. I not even need this Liberator. He's just done so much work already. Still in the way here. That queen almost got taken out. Yeah, that's what I like to see. A bit of razzle-dazzle here. You have a small little location over here you can use, which would be fantastic for him. Just getting right up in there with that Nidus Worm. But ExpecT does see that this is still 2 base, so he's got to be wondering what is going on. Even getting that Viking to push things away. And put it on down. This is not scattered, but now it is seen. ExpecT is paying attention, it looks like. It's going to cover that 3rd base location and creep the queens. First one's out. There's not that many roaches with this, but that is alleviated pretty quickly here. Now it just comes down to, does he throw down a second Nidus? Which he does. He has that high ground, which is very important for this kind of push right now. He's going to be droning up behind it, so he's not all in with it. But he's just doing whatever he can to delay this 3rd base, keep the economy going backwards for his opponent. See, these guys got to be wondering, maybe they took a wrong turn, maybe they just decided they didn't want to actually go forward with the attack, so they're just kind of hanging out in the worm's esophagus, just kind of deciding what they want to do next. Ravagers, though, very nicely done. Although, unfortunately, you can keep that going. You really want to focus down the SCVs on the back end there, more than anything, and actually just want to get one. Actually, he's just going to cancel that bunker, which is pretty interesting. Right now, what he does need to do with these creep tumors is just spread them to the winds. Make it so that you need so many scans to take care of this. Didn't actually have a 3rd CC either, so he was looking to be aggressive as well. This is actually a really nice position. He might actually get the cancel off on this CC. Just any small delays you can do. Finally does clear up the creep, but he's got to realize that he's not actually building his 3rd CC. Does he notice yet? Okay, there we go. He notices now. But starkiller, once again, he just doesn't have that many units at home. 5 roaches, 2 queens. That is nowhere, not queens, lings. That is nowhere near enough for this. And the panic roach kind of deal, not really good versus his composition, especially not with +1 attack and +1 armor just about to finish up. Kind of just cycling him into die as well, losing so many roaches very early on without any damage done with them. It's looking to be the end of Starkiller's game. He might clean this up, but at what cost here? Seachanks just getting to wail away the Marauders, just doing so much, and it looks like ExpecT will take us to match point. Wow, ExpecT is really fighting hard for this. Overall, this is just a fantastic display out of him. Really taking advantage of those small little mistakes Starkiller is making, and really just going to town with them. Let us see. What that is, once again, just match point. It's a Starkiller's map choice. So it means World of Sleepers is the last map. I think. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope, nope. Leave the lobby. Get out of here. There we go. Lobby has been made, and we are just ready to hop right on in. You guys are having a fantastic night / day wherever you are in the world as well. Like, this series is really good, and go, good luck, good luck. Go, have fun has been declared. Let's see what happens. As I try and move my mouse that is not under my hand right now. You can tell I'm a bit sleepy. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. World of Sleepers. Hey! Just the world for me. So without further ado, we'll have to see if he is tired after this series, because it is Alpha X's Starkiller. And he's going to need all your cheers in chat, so give it to him as much as you possibly can. Likewise, this guy, he wants to close it out. He wants that coveted Alpha Pro Series trophy. It is ExpecT. In game number 7. So if Starkiller does win this, we will be going. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Starkiller wins this, we will be going back to a map, and it looks like Starkiller is just going to put it all on the line. ExpecT will not be expecting this. I can guarantee this. Full in A is never expected. It's like the Spanish Inquisition. I can't even speak properly right now. English is only my first language. It's not like I should know it at all. But even behind this, he's going to get a hatchery back at home. 3 hatch before pool to close this series out. My goodness, he is looking to be so aggressive. I'm loving it, but ExpecT does see it. He's going to throw down a couple of bunkers. And we'll actually have to see if Starkiller decides to let this finish. This might have just been a complete fake out. And yeah, he is going to let it finish, it looks like. Reaper's going to go back home, or across the map, because he knows there won't be anything at home to defend. And he would be completely right, because there is no spawning pool finished just yet. Queen has started up. Reaper's going to come in, and he does need to make those lings at home to defend, which is not optimal for him right now. Would like to see some sort of spine crawler to kind of deal with all of this, but yeah, overall that Reaper is just going to be a complete nuisance in his side. Starkiller is so ready for that guy to jump up. He will get his wish, but it's not in the location he thinks. And the queen just being a nuisance right now. Knows he's not going to get really anything done with this. It was a huge commitment by him, but he wasn't able to go all the way with it. So he is just going to try and spread the creep as far as possible. Just make it impossible to take this base anytime soon. Oh, creep tumor gets destroyed at the very last second. That Reaper is still being annoying. The queen not really reacting. He's focused way too heavily on the other side. And overall, we're just going to see once again 2-base mutaplay, it looks like. As the Reaper finally goes down. One good thing, though, for Starkiller is ExpecT is going for what looks to be battle cruisers here, so he might not have too much at home. I love this as well. Those Marines all gonna get caught out except for one or two. But then now they can't really move out and clear the creep without fear of getting destroyed. Excellent little plays here from Starkiller, making the best out of a bad situation. Although I do worry about this, like heavily. Mutalisks, not the best versus battle cruisers. BCs just do so much damage to light units, and they're very tanky. It's taken a long time to get them to the location they are in terms of balance, but yeah, it is going to take quite a bit to destroy them, especially since there's very little anti-air here. Uh-oh. Here we go. What does Starkiller really have to do versus this so far? Nothing. That Spire needs to finish up. He needs Corruptors, like right now, like yesterday. But for a while, that is not going to be the case. This is, by the way, only just one battlecruiser. He hasn't queued up a second one. The Hellions just coming in, looking for those juicy connections. This is just from bad to worse for Starkiller. Those Mules are going to pop, but they just get taken down so quickly. And the Hellions are just going to clean up everything on the ground. That one spore, not going to destroy this quick enough. 18 workers already going down. I think this is the swan song of Starkiller. I think ExpecT has gotten the victory he expected. Just look at this. Even the Mutalisks can't fight against this. The Hellions just want to get one of those big clump ups. If he does, I think that would be the best way to end it, is just get one big clump. But the Mutalisks are going to be looking to finish everything off. The battlecruiser Does have his tactical jump, and he's just going to get out of there after killing 26 workers. My goodness. If that's what it if that's what one did, imagine what this second one is going to do. Actually, did it? Where did it go? I actually don't see it anywhere. Very interesting. So these aliens are going to have to split up in order to avoid any kind of damage. There they are. Perfect little pair, flying right on top of each other, clipping a wing. Uh, yeah, that doesn't look like good formation flying at all. Look at this. The Hellions just going to get right on in. See what they can get done. Not too much, but the Viking does land as well. Nice little touch. These battle cruisers coming across the map, I think, is going to be it. As they catch the Mulisks in the center. Look at that damage output. Behind it, we do have Battle Mech. So really what Starkiller went for isn't going to work out. Army supply, fairly even, but it's just the type of army that makes it so much more powerful. And there we go, that third battle cruiser. Like, I'm kind of just speechless through all of this. You know, if you drop a couple mules, it wouldn't be BM, it would just be repairing that BC. He's going to try and focus it down, and he will get it. But overall, this is just a losing defense. He's just losing way too many Mulisks to all of this. And GG is called ExpecT. Nothing less but the best StarCraft, ladies and gentlemen. He is your Alpha Pro Series champion. If you want to be a champion like him, however, you need to check out our sponsor at GameStop through the website on the Matcherino page. Do you know why? Because they will make you a champion, because they have always brought the power to the gamers, and now they're bringing it to the esports scene with some of their new initiatives. The best coaches in the world are going to teach you how to play your favorite games. And so go ahead, check them out, add 30 cents to the prize pool, and support our players that way through the sponsors. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been Passer. You can find me at my Twitter below if you like what I do. And yeah, just give a big shout out to all the guys who make this possible. Some of you are in the chat already, so you guys are the real MVPs. Also, yeah, you guys are the real MVPs. And thank you guys so much for putting on such an amazing show. Give these players some love any way you can, guys. They played it their hearts out. And thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you on the next show. Have a great night, a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your day, StarCraft.